Yo, yo, what's cooking, people? Man, oh man, what a week. First off, let me apologize once again for the lack of content. I have it ready, but something got in the way. Something very, very special. Yeah. In fact, it's still in the way, but I couldn't go any longer without talking about it, even if it's just a little at the moment. I made a pretty bold statement before this game came out. I even said to a group of close friends who would be more than happy to mock me hard in regards to making such a statement, but you know what? I didn't care. or more accurately, I was so confident that this would be the case that I felt fearless in saying it. I said, after seeing all the footage and, more importantly, that last trailer from the Switch reveal in Japan, that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is going to be the greatest game ever made. After finally getting my hands on it and playing it since launch, I've still barely scratched the surface of what this game offers, and I can hold my head up high and confidently say once again that this is the greatest game ever made.
No horseshit, Wang. No horseshit, Jack.
Some people will say it's too early still to make such a statement, or it's personal preference, or whatever reasons. Of course, you can say that this will always be nothing but someone's opinion. But for me, after playing games for nearly 30 years, playing the majority of what is considered the greatest games ever made, just by the general gaming world consensus, Breath of the Wild is, for me, the accumulation of all the great gameplay, mechanics, music, sound, intrigue, fun, excitement, challenge, and pleasing visual presentation that this industry has been working towards. I also said before that I'd never do reviews on this channel. It's something I just never felt like I wanted to do, and I'm still sticking by that. But I feel that I might have to make an exception of sorts after playing this game. Maybe it won't be a review, but more of an analysis of everything that this game does so well. I mean, I could literally talk about this game all day, due to everything that it offers and all the little details and moments that I've seen and experienced. But as you can see in the title, I like to talk about what this game has achieved in certain parts of its design that puts games like Skyrim, The Witcher 3, etc. to shame, in my opinion. And I've played all these games, so in my time I've played and dabbled in a lot of what we currently call open world games. Everything from the likes of the Elder Scrolls series, Warcraft, Fallout, The Witcher, GTA, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, the Xenoblades, Final Fantasies, and a few other online MMOs, etc. You name it, and I've probably played it or dabbled in it, or even just know about it. All these games do great things in many areas, probably with the likes of Rockstar and Bethesda, being at the top in terms of world interaction and open world gameplay. And on a side note, I also personally think Bethesda are complete garbage. But hey, like I said, that's just my opinion, man. But where many of these games, fail, or at least don't come together in the universal consequences of all the system put in place, and in many of these games, weather and the elements can be nothing more than a visual effect. Physics are merely there to make things move, look like they move realistically, but aren't used in a sense in gameplay, in any meaningful way. The openness of the world can be hampered by your character's movesets. The weight of objects can have no meaning or substance whatsoever, or NPCs aren't in tune with their environments when certain things happen. Or even if some of these things are present in these games, not one of these games has ever used all of them together in the same way There's always been something missing that truly makes it feel like you could achieve anything or go anywhere. But what Zelda does with its gameplay mechanics, its world, its weather system, and most importantly, its physics system is beyond anything that I've ever experienced before in a single title, just a standalone title. I find the combination of all these things as revolutionary as what Half-Life 2's world physics system brought to the industry back in 2004, I believe it was. Something which I haven't seen, beaten in terms of initial impact. Half-Life 2 brought about a physics system that revolutionized how you interact with the environment, not just for eye candy, but more importantly for gameplay purposes. This, as we know, was further elevated by the gravity gun, a weapon or item, depending on how you look at it, that was used to manipulate objects, around the world, to stunning effect, creating very unique scenarios and gameplay moments for every single player. It was in Half-Life 2 where those governing bodies came together to create a level of gameplay and immersion that truly gave the player that illusion of complete control and freedom over how they interacted with the world. But in Breath of the Wild's case, it's been elevated way beyond what Half-Life 2 brought to the industry. As this game doesn't just use physics as a source of gameplay. Everything is a puzzle in this game world, a puzzle that fuses Link's abilities and the environment together, unlike anything I've experienced before. As I said that, just moments ago. It's hard to describe the amount of ways that you can tackle the environments and many situations presented to you, because there are so many things that you can try because of the real world physics and weather systems being interlocked, in such a way. I honestly don't know where to start or what to mention, but it truly feels like anything is possible, which is, a fantastic illusion, something that's very rarely achieved in this medium. This is all heightened even further by Link being able to climb virtually anything, as well as paraglide from virtually anywhere. Then the inclusion of core items like the magnet that can lift up any metal object, similar to the gravity gun, I suppose. The bombs that you have, they can be rolled, dropped, be thrown, placed down, or even tied to a balloon, which you can then blow further away using the game's real, wind system. And then, maybe with your bow and arrow, snipe the balloon, which drops the bomb at a greater distance, which you can detonate, for whatever gameplay purposes that you can think of. Then you have the stasis time mechanic that can freeze certain objects in motion, or, as well as, let you build up kinetic energy by smashing it with a weapon, that can allow you to propel those objects certain distances, even great distances, or, jump on it yourself and, be propelled with it. The important thing is that all of these items have great impacts on the entire game and the world and everything that you do. They can be used freely and at virtually any time to create situations that have not existed as an entirety in any one game before. It really feels like you're playing a game that allows you to experiment in any way that you want with a variety of items, environments, and like I said, using that physics and weather system as well as the elements. A game that it's a game that takes aspects of many games and genres and places it into one, and it gets it to work pretty much flawlessly. Everything is real in this world. Everything feels real, designed to draw the player in and let them truly have their own adventure. One that would be completely different every single time they play it, as well as one that will be completely different for every single player. This is all because this Hyrule, this beautiful, beautiful Hyrule is truly open. Can be accessed virtually any way that the player can think of, can be experimented with in virtually any way the player can think of, with mostly positive effects, and it's all been designed for these reasons, for the player. Daytime, nighttime, rain, snow, hot, cold, fire, ice, electricity, wind, storms, sound, weight, etc. All these things are real things in the game that truly affect the world and the gameplay. And once again, they all work together seamlessly. You can tell, if you could tell me any other game of this size that does this, then please tell me, because I want to play it, because I haven't played anything like Breath of the Wild before. All I can say is that the bar has been set by Nintendo once again, and I feel that it won't be surpassed anytime soon. This game is as important to modern open world games as Super Mario Bros. Was to 2D platformers, as Mario 64 was to 3D platformers, as Ocarina of Time was to 3D combat in adventure games, and as Hydlide and the original Legend of Zelda was to what we call open world games today. I'll make another bold statement. In my opinion, this is the first modern open world game. A game that truly gives you the illusion that you can go anywhere and do anything, and it doesn't skimp on what's presented to you as the player, which is another important thing to distinguish. If a game presents a system to you, whether that's the physics, the weather, the elements, etc., in a way that you feel they should have been used, then to me, that's a questionable, inclusion if it's not used in a way that the player can benefit from for gameplay purposes. I discussed that briefly in one of my original videos titled "Let's Ask for Better Games," as well as a bit more in another video I'd done recently titled "High Fidelity Graphics Lacking Substance." I feel like I need to maybe do a follow-up on those, as I know that it left many people upset, especially close to me, which is never the intention, but now that Breath of the Wild has come along, I have this game which even further gives evidence to what I've been trying to say for years in terms of what we've been playing as video games. Perhaps in those videos, I just didn't, I needed to convey my points a little bit better with more situations, more games, more evidence, something I'll think about, producing another video soon. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a game that, wants you to play, as well as telling you to go on your own adventure and smile at every little unique moment that occurs, either by accident or by experimentation. Then when we go back to other, so-called open world games, that we've been playing up till now, we'll all wonder what the hell have we been playing this whole time. For me, it's time to embrace the new standard, people. Forget open world. I want more open air. As always, thanks for listening, guys, and post your comments. Let me know your thoughts on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And like I said, I might do an analysis of this game later on, because I feel like it needs it. Everyone else is doing it. I got things to talk about, and like I said, I could talk about this game all day, every day. So yeah, thanks for listening. Once again, peace.